Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for extra support. Any kind of updates and such. Usually, I go about on Twitter X, and later today we'll have a Midnight Suns episode. Just a quick reminder that I'm having a blast playing this game, so put yourself on par with the thing. Again, I think this almost going to reach almost around 100 episodes. At least that's my estimation by the story arc that we are getting into. It seems that we might reach that that milestone, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this will end. And then again, as a quick reminder, 4K complete gameplay series, the most recent ones, and 1080p from 6 years and older games that I played at the time. Before I managed to get without a PC. Let's go to the news. Similarly, there is some good deals on AMD GPU front. The 7700X XT drops to around 350 for the first time, and includes a $60 AMD game bundle, which is pretty good, given that the game itself is the well-reviewed Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. This one, Unknown 9 Awakening, I think is going to be a shit show from all the footage that I've been seeing. And it's available on Amazon and Newegg at this price point. But again, the game bundle, I think it's dependent on the where you buy in terms of a region. So pay attention to that. I'm not sure how that might affect the value of this deal here, because again, I think Space Marine 2 is around $50 or so, as it mentioned here. So and its GPU, it seems pretty good, having very comfortable performance, and even at 1440p, I think it's a good, well enough GPU for that. But yeah, if you're looking for it, again, I'm not sure in terms of performance how it deals against NVIDIA. I'm not sure. 4060 Ti, maybe, but 4060 Ti is way more expensive than this. And again, 1080p, 1440p, I don't think there is like a huge value on the technologies, especially on frame generation. I don't think you reach a higher frame rate, everything maxed out, 1080p or 1440p, to get this at least that minimum threshold of 60 frames per second to justify and ramping up those things. But it's still pretty decent on upscaling technology. Except NVIDIA has a better upscaling that AMD at this moment in time. But then again, it depends if it justify the price difference there. And continue with that, the 7900 XT, it's available for $660, give or take. The MSRP being $900. Again, we'll be seeing this cutting down price since it launched. I think it's not a bad deal, given that in terms of rasterization, it performs as well as a 4070 Ti, if not mistaken. I'm not sure. I forgot to check the power tech power up relative performance, but again, it's like it performs very well. 20 gigabytes of VRAM, plays 4K even in most games. You just maybe need to tweak down a little bit here and there the graphic options there, but again, very solid performer, especially at this price point. If you want to go for example, 4070 Ti Super or around that kind of performance, you are shelling out at least $800, which is almost $200, give or take, depending on the deals there, of difference for kind of the same performance wise. And I think by saving this, again, I think it's a pretty good deal regardless. But yeah, basically in hardware, this is what caught my attention here. In terms of games, we got Monster Hunter Wilds dev. They are working hard on optimization, and from what it seems people already notice some difference from the Gamescom gameplay that they did, and this one Tokyo Game Show. They seem to have noticed a little bit better performance or better optimizations, let's say. But yeah, it's good to see that they are working hard on that, because we got the thing with Dragma's Dogma 2, mainly because it's the same engine and the game aims to be kind of similar in the sense that it's kind of an open world kind of a game there with a lot of AI routines and NPCs and a lot of changing environments there. I think it's kind of on par and in terms of demanding from the engine itself. But I think optimization is key on this game, because it seems to be running okay-ish from the footage that I saw. Again, it's YouTube footage. Yeah, you got always take it with a grain of salt and kind of trust of people that had some hands-on gameplay with this game. But yeah, it seems to be pretty good in terms of graphic fidelity. And there is some tidbits here regarding, for example, crossplay and cross-save functionality. Supposedly crossplay can be disabled at any time, so between console and PC versions you can use the crossplay, and even with searching for available quests, so hunters will have plenty of freedom in matchmaking to tailor the experience. So again, it will not matter if your friends play on a console or on a PC or otherwise. You might have a good experience by enabling the crossplay there, and you can play online with them. In terms of cross save, it's supposedly they say it's very difficult to implement in a game like this, but the team feels the issue is alleviated somewhat by the simultaneous release on PC and consoles, giving players the ability to pick their preferred platform and still be able to play with everyone else. Again, I think they mitigate the situation here with a cross-play thing regarding the cross-save stuff there. They continue here about online play when connected to an online lobby. Every player inside the lobby will appear in the base camp, so the new open world setting isn't going to impact this aspect to the series negatively. Additionally, it will be possible to start a quest in different weather conditions, thanks to a sort of weather forecast system that will let players choose a weather condition and let the hunter rest until the chosen time. So it seems that you will not. Uh, Again, I will assume this is because of online play, so I will assume the server will have like a weather thingy there happening there. I will assume if you want to play solo, you can just choose the weather preference there. From what I understand, it affects the monsters and how they spawn or not, or maybe even influence the behavior, or in certain specific weather conditions, there are specific kind of monsters that will spawn. That's my assumption. Again, I never played the Monster Hunter game, so that's my take on that in terms of speculation. There is also some tweaks. Similarly, offensive skills have been moved to weapons, thus giving players way more freedom with armor pieces. Additionally, the decoration system was changed to allow for a more flexible customization system. From what I understand, the offense skills were tied to armor before, so you kind of have to the build's flavor of things was you for you to get a preferred weapon you were kind of restrained of choosing armor. That's my understanding of how things work now. Basically the offensive skills are in the weapons themselves, so it gives more freedom for you to get like a preferred armor piece. I don't think there is transmark here, but at least you can choose. You have more freedom to choose an armor piece without worrying about any kind of offensive skills or buffs or anything. Everything now is on the side of the weapons there. So I think it's pretty good. Again, we'll have to wait until next year, 25 sorry, 29 February next year, so you can play this game here. I will probably try my best to um, buy the game and start playing as soon as possible when it comes out, if possible. Most likely, as usual, I tend to wait a little bit there because there is going to be always some patch in terms of performance. I don't like dealing with all the hassle of having when games launch to have those technical difficulties. We kind of experienced that even with Shadow of the Earth 3. There was some performance issues, but again, because the game it was a DLC, it's a completely different thing with a new game. But yeah, usually I tend to wait like 1 month or so, trying to get the reviews out, see how it goes, how it fares in terms of performance and everything, and then usually I jump in newer games. That's usually how I go about things. But yeah, talking about new games, we got still a Silent Hill 2 remake. Supposedly will require around at least 15 hours to beat. There is a first review here, says it's very positive. Again, it's just one review out of a lot of them. Um, Again, according to the review from Famitsu, they scored 35 out of 40. So I don't know what this is. I never checked very much Famitsu review. So 8 and 999. I don't know what this is here, how they divided the reviews there, which is a little higher than the score the magazine awarded to the original game. Again, it was supposedly, I think, different reviewers, so the opinion will differ. The review praised the sense of realism brought by the beautiful visuals. Okay, the game's unique atmosphere, which is key to this game, and revamped puzzles that feel more mentally taxing and combat. Silent Hill 2 Remake is about to release on PC and PlayStation 5 in October 8th. But then again, it's just a review. I will wait for more. Again, I got a sense that this game is lost a little bit in translation regarding this remake and the original one in some areas. But what can I say? I'm not sure if I'm going to play it. I will have to wait and see how that goes. Um, Continue with not drama, but kind of the gaming industry. Um, Former Dragon Age director Mark Darrah, I'm not sure which Dragon Age, I will assume the first three or something like that, explains how Sony and Firewalk Studio could have blown $400 million on Concord. Again, this comes after the Colin Moriarty leak regarding insiders that basically told that Concord cost $400 million just to develop, not taking in account supposedly the acquisition of the studio from Sony. But yeah, it goes about very extensively. I'm not sure if this is the video. I didn't watch this video. But he basically said if we start from a pure development perspective, we include any externalities, then the easiest way to look at this is from pure staff month perspective. Could we have spent 400 million down just on staff? That's not a perfect way to do the math because obviously you have other external factors like, but it's a good indication. If you can even get close, then it's at least possible that Concord cost around $400 million. He explained that he broke up the game's development beginning in 2018 when Firewalk Studios was founded and going up until April 30th of last year when it entered in alpha. He noted that the game spent around 63 months in pre-alpha and 15 months from alpha until launch. And he assumed at the time that the first math that he did, that the studio spent around $15,000 per month on staff, including all their supplies and computers, office space. Additionally, it will include any central resources that are manufactured into the team. So HR, I think it's a very low value here. Um, it gives an indication that you're not paying that well to the staff there, because again you have to pay salaries. So I think it's a very low ball number. But even taking account this number, they will need an average team size of 212 employees pre-alpha and then scale up to 900 pre-alpha to reach this $200 million before and $200 million after the alpha. So he put a separation there before and after the alpha. But yeah, if it is possible, if you do this poorly staffing, it's just fairly simple. Basically, it said, and they in this admission there were after alpha there was a lot of indication they were externalizing a lot of tasks to other studios and to I don't know freelancers. I don't know, but there was a lot of third party involvement. It doesn't surprise me that it could have ramped up to around 900 people working, besides the Firewalk studio kind of persons that are already there. It doesn't surprise me that much. But then in the second calculation, he decided to change up the cost and estimated that probably Master, which is the owner of the studio before, spent around 25 millions between 2016 and 2018 before creating Firewalk Studio, given developer status that the game was in development for 8 years. Darrah also added 6 million, which is required by sunk costs, but explained it could be Sony or Firewalk hiding costs for other projects that employees might be working on that do not necessarily have anything to do with Concord, but are placed in the Concord because the game is seen as too big to fail. Um, that was one of the, the things that happened for sure. It reached a point that it's like it's too big. This project is too big to just shut down. We just might okay just go full hog and go forward with this one. And then in the second calculation, he said these new numbers. This lowered this average pre-alpha team to 130. So he basically managed to remove in this math around 70 people, and after alpha around 650, which is a reduction to 250 people working on the project after past the alpha stage there. And note that it is a super duper within the realm of possibility, which is not surprising given this specific project had a lot of outside resources coming in and working on the project. But he after noted, but when I sat down and did the math, especially one, once you start applying in a few externalities for cost, yeah, it actually does start to look like the number makes a lot of sense. But yeah, it goes about here. I underlined a lot of things here. Again, the it's not surprising. It's a huge number for sure for a game, especially at the game with this scope. Um, I think they again the toxic positivity there and the fact that they just keep on chugging and spending a lot of resources here because not only toxic positivity but to a certain degree I think it passes a threshold. I suppose the fact when they reach the alpha stage thresholds there because they spent so much money like around $200 million. They said, okay, this is now too expensive to just shut down the project. Might as well go to the end and try to recoup that money. Because again, there is the mentality of multiplayer games and the microtransactions associated with these kind of games that they might hit jackpot on recouping the money, so they are trying to go for full on trying to hit the jackpot and recoup that money and make extra. But then again, this $400 million is not taking into account the cost of the Firewalk Studios acquisition from Sony's part. We'll have to assume at least $100 million given all the hype that is behind here. And again, $500 million for a project here. Again, it's not something that happens a lot, but it's not something new. We got yesterday I covered the Skull and Bones game, 12 years in the making or something like that. It's estimated between, according to insider sources, between 650 to $800 million. Given that, again, it's a different story, but the values are not that surprising given the amount of time and the amount of variations of iterations of that game that passed through along and the teams that went through different teams. So we got a lot of different costs that are associated with that. And yeah, it's not surprising, even if you lowball the count. For example, when you start doing just 15,000 per month on staff, it's not that much. At least that's my perception, even on gaming development, unless you have a very small team, like a handful of teams. Because again, taking into account the hardware, the PCs for people to work with, the office space that you need to keep up, and everything associated with that. Again, it's a very low ball number. It's not surprising that we might see this number change to a bigger one when all things are said and done. Maybe we'll see something, a write-off from Sony. When this happens, the write-off from this project here, we might get a better sense of how much it really costs to Sony sinking all this money. And we already see it to a certain extent the passing of this cost to the consumer. On the Japanese market, they increased the PlayStation 5 price. We saw the $5 increase on the controller side of things. We are seeing on the PS5 Pro, even though it's very niche market, but it's $700. It's very expensive. And for sure, we'll see. We also saw Horizon Zero Dawn increase their price again to the original price to a certain. I think it's $40 now again. Again, we will see some of these kind of things, and I will think by the beginning of next year you will see some increase on the PlayStation PSN Plus subscription price. They will update that for sure. Yeah, we will be seeing a lot of moves. Again, they might not seem directly correlated to this huge hole that they have, financial hole, but they will try to recoup their money because, again, shareholders and the CEOs will have to have their own bonuses at the end of the year, and they will do everything to squeeze out from anybody that they can, from customers to firing people. Again, layoffs will come out more from Sony part for sure. They will try, even though it's not directly correlated with Concord, it Concord will influence how Sony will be behaving at least in the next year until they think they can recoup the at least $500 million there. And then continue with the drama with Ubisoft. This is part of the Endymion video, and this is coming after all the Assassin's Creed stuff there, the Skull and Bones. It's part basically of the same video, which is the next Assassin's Creed, the Hexe or X. I don't know, the Witch Assassin's Creed. Yeah, the rumors are not good. Again, there are rumors claiming that it will be the gayest Assassin's Creed yet. Yeah, internally, similarly, that again, it's internally claimed that it's going to be the gayest one. I'm told it only has a single female protagonist, and also the most fantastical Assassin's Creed yet. There will be lots of mysticism, and will also have, as they say, very striking visuals. I don't know what that means, an entirely different art style or anything, but this is what I was told. And again, he was also told it will be an open world action game like usual Assassin's Creeds, but from what I've been told, it is the biggest departure yet from the series. My sources claim that Hexe is very, very, very female power oriented. We are talking lots of lesbian relationship with female characters. It has witch covens and apparently very little masculine presence within the game. And I think usually the masculine presence, as usual, is going to be the enemy, and you have to kill them all. Again, it seems like a kind of an acolyte gaming version of a game there. Again, lesbian witches with a lot of covenants, and everybody else that's outside the covenant, it's the big bad boy. Yeah, again, feel free to do this game. Again, I don't have, in principle, any kind of issue with having a female main character. Again, I think I have the majority of, or a lot of the majority concurs with people with common sense. Again, we don't have any issues with, since I play games for 20 plus years. I never had any issues with female characters being sidekicks or being the main character. Whatever with aliens, when my only issue, and I think again a lot of people might agree with me, is we don't like to be preached about any kind of whatever they are going to be preaching. I played excellent games with which had a message, but the message was not preachy, it was not imposed, and that message was enhanced by how the story was told, how the characters were made, and the story arc and the character arcs influence it to transmit the message that they will try to approach in that game setting. Again, we don't need to go to escapism to be preached about whatever message that activists inside a company want to pass through and try to self-aggrandize themselves with preaching whatever ideology that they have, and not even given going to the trouble of making a decent game there. And I think this is, if the rumors are true, this is going to be another one. Again, I'm not even that pissed off to a certain extent. It's a little bit disappointing because again, until Black Flag, I enjoyed every game that I played there until Black Flag. Then the other games, they didn't start innovating that much. I think the one in Paris, I forget the name, Assassin's Creed, not Revolution. The one that was in Paris had some increased mechanics. They improve some mechanics there and try to make it a little bit different there. But other than that, it's basically the same thing. Again, I don't have anything against female empowerment, but then again, if you're trying to just stick it to me, again, I don't see any value on that. I really do enjoy a lot of games that I played. Some of them have female characters. I don't know, from Tomb Raider. There is Metroidvania also. Um, Again, at top of my head, that there is, for example, Midnight Suns have excellent female characters written there. They are still independent. You don't have like funny enough, this Midnight Suns game evolves around friendship and bonds. Doesn't put himself on everybody has to be gay or everybody has to be a love interest. Is about friendship and bonding with persons that to a certain extent are outcasts. That's what is really about being a superhero. Is everybody has their own quirks, insecurities, and they try to find somebody that can help them overcome those insecurities and work as a team, and to a certain extent as a family. I like that kind of thing without the need of everybody needs to have a sexual relationship with anybody else out of nowhere. Um, Again, I like these kind of games. I like strong female characters if they are well written as anybody else. Even from movies and series, got excellent. Got Elias series from with Jennifer Garner was an excellent one. Even Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a very good main character, female character there. Uh, got a lot of good female-led media from books, movies, games, TV shows, everyone. But they don't self-aggrandize and try to pass I don't know, something that it's I don't know. It doesn't. I didn't see at least, and I don't see it as somebody trying to impose a message and make you pay for it. But yeah, yeah, we'll have to wait and see with this Assassin's Creed X. I think it's going to be a shit show if the rumors are true. Mainly because, again, the focus here is being the gayest Assassin's Creed with a lot of lesbian witches. Again, if it is your pillar stone on develop a game around that, again, you are not worrying, trying to tell a good story or trying to get around and having good character interactions, good gameplay systems, and all that stuff there on the game, which is very most important than most than anything there. But yeah, in terms of news, this is what I got. Let's go from some good gaming deals. We got Midnight Suns, as I talked about it. We got 75% off still for the base game. I think I'm blessed with this game. I really do recommend this game if you manage to catch even at this price point. We got King Arthur Knight's Tale, 70% off, including also the DLC stuff. Then we got the, I think it's a spiritual sequel of some sorts, which is King Arthur Legion 9, 40% off. Got also Miasma Chronicles, seems a pretty good one. I really want to try this one out when I can. It's kind of also a spiritual successor of how it calls Mutineer Zero. It's from the same guys that did that game, and I think they have improved visuals. The mechanics are improved also in that sense, but it's very in line in how it plays out. Again, different world, different setting, but seems pretty interesting here. Got also Nino Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. This is the remastered version, 85% off. Again, it is one of those that I really want to try. Again, very Ghibli style, kind of art style on this game, and it's a turn-based JRPG there. On GOG, we got Plague Tale Innocence, 80% off, and the sequel, A Plague Tale Requiem, 60% off. We got Children of Morta Complete Edition, 71% off. I think this seems to be a pretty good game. Then we got also No Man's Sky, again, 60% off. You got a huge vast of updates and expansions for free with this price. Again, they really, really ramp up and you have a lot of hours to play here. To got a lot of systems. I think the last one that they did is the deep dive stuff, which is the fishing mechanic and all the mechanics, gameplay systems around that, which I think is an excellent one. Then finally, we got Prey Digital Deluxe Edition. Again, if you're not sure, the standard edition, which is the base game, is $6 only. Again, it's got a stamp of approval, very underrated immersive sim. I made a series out of it. If you're not sure regarding this game, just watch the first couple episodes from my gameplay series, and you'll get an idea what this game is about. Yeah. But yeah, other than this, I'll wrap up my episode here with a plug on my Patreon for Access support. This Access support is more in line for me to get around and having a better storage solution, so I can have backups of the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course, some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.